Hello, loves. It's Sonia G. It's a surprise Friday night live. Yay! We are going to talk about so many things. I'm going to pin a comment. We're talking about the energy shift. That's the bulk of it because the energy just massively shifted. And I know you guys can feel it. There's a lot of things that are happening kind of in the air, right? That you can just kind of feel. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the new moon in Aquarius and kind of this shift and the things that are happening. We're going to talk about how we feel inside of our bodies. And we're just going to have a Friday night party together because it's Friday night. So hi, loves. Welcome. Thank you. It's a fun shirt. It's like I'm just wearing the things that I love, you know? Like slight unicorn thing. Yay! My friend felt it earlier today. It was a sudden flux of really positive energy. Yes, it is shifting. Hi, loves. Welcome. We're just going to call it a Friday night party. I don't know what I titled this live anymore, but we're just going to call it a Friday night party. Hi, loves. Yay! Welcome. Okay, so let's just take a breath together, shall we? I'm gonna get in easy pose here on my chair. So let's do this. Rub your palms together. Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Put your hands on your heart. Hold the breath. Feel your heartbeat. Connect internally with your heartbeat as you hold the breath and then exhale powerful. Inhale big. Hold the breath in your heart. Connect inside of you with the electrical force that is you. Holding the breath resets everything. So hold it as long as you can and then exhale powerful. One last time. Inhale. Hold your breath. This time, lengthen and straighten your spine as you hold the breath. Squeeze your energy up from your root chakra through every chakra, every vertebra, all the way up. Wakey. Aligning the spine. Hold it. You can do it. And exhale. Woo! Here we are. So, amazing. And even just after that, I open my eyes and all I see are sparkles in the air. It's amazing how much things have shifted in just like the fabric of reality. So, here's the biggest thing that I want to tell you about what just happened, okay? If you have been doing your work, if you have been clearing through, if you have been grounding, connecting to heaven and earth, connecting to your higher self, okay? At this point, you no longer need to connect to the grid. You don't need to anymore. It is done, okay? So it doesn't matter if if you don't feel like this is you, it's fine, okay? So this is not about, oh my God, I'm behind or whatever not. Your soul has to go through, we all have different jobs, remember that. And your soul has to go through the journey. However, your soul decided that it was gonna do this at its best, right? So some of you that are still, for example, like working with others and like that are in, different places, in their awakening and their journey, maybe like when you're doing shadow work and things like that, then you're going to probably want to connect to the grid. But now it's a choice, okay? So the new 12th dimensional grid and beyond. So I'm calling it the breakthrough reality because it changed so much. After completing the 12D, all of a sudden, it's like we are the grid, okay? So you are the grid. There is not an actual grid where we're exchanging anymore. It's almost like we took flight. So the grid it's not around the earth, like this layer that we connected to anymore, outside of ourselves, if that makes sense. Even though we were connecting from inside of ourselves to the grid, through to everybody, now it's just an inner kind of connection, and that's it. I hope this makes sense. Tell me if this is not clear because I want to explain it. So in the moment that you're able to hold all of the information and all of the codes and all of the intelligence and all of the knowingness inside, okay, then it's up to us. Like, it's our job to be the broadcasting towers, which you guys know this. I've talked about this before. Like, we are the broadcasting towers. We have to expand, right, the energy out. In this case, what's happening is we are holding the template, the 12D template inside, meaning we have gone through and checked off, like I did this, I cleared this, like I've done this, right? Like that kind of stuff. And then on the inside, as we hold it, we're breaking through to this new layer of reality, to this like, I also call them like the mirror dimensions, but we represent the 12D, right, on planet Earth. So if you've done the work to clear through the template, then you're free floating. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're not grounding to the grid anymore. You are grounded. We are always grounding to heaven and earth. So we're always grounding to the heart of the earth. We're always grounding to the our higher self, because it's not necessarily a grounding, it's a connection, right? So we are connecting. We're connecting to the extent of the energy that we can hold while we're here on earth, because our chakra pillar that is outside of the body connects us to the length and the, as much of the magic of who we are as we can handle while we're here on earth, because we're infinite beings of light. So who we are is not just contained inside of this physical body. So when we stretch and we connect to heaven and earth, then we actually get to be more into who we are. We get to expand more into who we are, and it feels fucking good, right? So, okay, cool. So you guys are understanding this. So you are holding the consciousness, like which this is what this means. We are fully responsible to take flight with the new reality. We are fully responsible for like everything that we feel and how we feel outside, like that actually like sends codes outside. And this is not new, because we have always been fully responsible for our feelings, but this is just a different layer, because it's the way that we feel is constantly coding our reality on a whole new level on the outside. So in the moment that we feel confused, we weave confusion into our new earth. In the moment that we feel doubt, we weave doubt into the new earth reality. Okay, which means you have to get really good at managing your emotions. You have to get really, we have to get really in charge, right, of that. So why is this coming up? Why is this a big deal? We just had an alignment with the new moon yesterday in Aquarius, 6 planets, okay, in this regressive alignment from the sun to us, and every one of them, like at equal degrees, okay? Every one of them had something to tell, right? So it's like Venus is like, hey, what do you need to clear up about your love life? Because everything is squaring Mars. So there's much action, okay? This is in a square to Mars. So all the planets are over here. Like Jupiter is like, hey, I represent abundance. Mars is like, well, what the fuck are you going to do about that, right? Person. Like, hey, what are you going to do about that? So it's like, everything came up. It's like, this is the love I want. Well, what the fuck are you going to do about that? Right? This is like the things that I want to do in my life. This is a business I want, Saturn, right? Like, show me like the karmic rewards of the work that I've been doing. Well, what the fuck did you do about that? Are you going to do something else? Or are you going to sit on your ass, right? Like, so there are things that just kind of like Mars challenged everything. While Mercury is in retrograde, being like, okay, really figure this out. This is your inner journey. Like, these are the things that you need to like understand for yourself. Only you have the answers, right? Like, you have got to pay attention. And the new moon emotionally got us to deal with all of these things. The new moon is like, hey, now that we're all clear mentally that we are in the age of Aquarius, let's get your feelings on board too, because the moon is our feelings, right? The moon represents our feelings. So with that, we get to shift emotionally. So as these things come up, which they're coming up in an active layer, okay? So, like we have to, like, you have got to deal with the things, okay? You have to. So, because otherwise you're going to feel like shit, you're going to feel nauseous, you're going to feel like you're going to puke, you're going to feel like you have to deal with it. Your body will physically feel sick. If your body feels sick, you have to deal with your shit, okay? That's kind of what's going on. So, okay. Love that jumper sweater. Thanks. Okay, I'm looking at questions. I cried so much yesterday and the day before. Huge purge. Yes. So the things that we have to, so good job. Like the things that we have to do, right? Like yesterday we had our astro travel adventure in Moonbabe Society where we went back to our soul star, for example, and a lot of people yawned. There was a lot of like yawning, a lot of burping, like a lot of releasing energy that has to come out of the body. So this is, I've been saying this, that we're coming up on a physical part of ascension. We're here, okay? This is physical ascension. So, Hurricane House, laughing my ass off. No wonder I ended my relationship and quit my job this month. A good job, like reorganizing. Resigned yesterday, back to who I am and what I want to create. Amazing. Good things coming. Good. And then my bank account tripled. Look at that, right? It's just about alignment. Thank you for sharing that, because it's like when we think we're doing something that's right because we should be staying in our job, because we should be having a paycheck, because we should, fuck, right? Like when you do the shoulds, life doesn't fucking work. But when you do alignment, life works, like with magic in it, and it doesn't make any sense. So thank you for sharing that. So amazing. Marina, if we are solid and good in the understanding of being in charge of this idea of connecting and holding the frequency, is it a no-no on connecting to the physical grid the old way then? That's how I feel in my grounding. So it really is, that's a good question, Marina. So it really is like, trust your energy to feel like if you need it or not, okay? And so once you've done this work enough with me, which I know that you have, right? You understand like how we weave through it. There are days where you feel like, nope, my energy is not we're not connecting. And to be honest, I don't know if this is temporary. Like, I don't know if this is a phase in terms of like, there are things that are being pumped. Oh, I have an eyelash. There are things that are being like pumped in our airways, which is also the conversation that I want to talk to you about, the silence. So I don't know if that's why. I don't know if it's because our frequencies get interfered with if we do it this way. I know that it will unfold, right? So this is like new. So one way or another, it's just, you have to, this is why it's so important to know how to trust your energy and what you have to do with it. Because then some days you might feel like it, and some days, nope. And then, you know, when you guys go back through like all the meditations that we've done, and we get to the part where it's like, okay, expand and connect to the grid, you know that the new way of doing it, right? We're connecting through from our heart. Like we're just connecting to each other. There's no grid. We're literally free floating. Like I'm a spot on the grid, you're a spot on the grid, you're a spot on the grid. We're all just interweaving from each other. There's no more ground. So it's like we took flight. And the grid is happening like midair, right? So it's just a new way of connecting through. It doesn't mean that there's like no grid. But the old grid, it's kind of like, you know, when people go back to the like the 3D stuff because they get scared and then they go back to 3D, then they're grounding into a 3D grid, right? When people choose love again, and when people choose like abundance and higher living, then they're connecting into a higher grid, like to a 5D grid. When people are working through standing in their truth and standing in their power, they're connecting to a 7th dimensional grid. When people are working through, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like there are grids like at every dimensional field. It just depends on where you're at. If you're working through your Akashic records, then you're connecting to a 9th dimensional grid, okay? There's different grids. It's not like, oh, it's here and it's here. No, this is a multi-fucking dimensional reality. So we're all connecting to different frequencies, which is why it seems like my reality is so different, for example, than Henry's, and it's so different than our neighbors, right? And it's so different. Like we're living in different worlds simultaneously because our world is a direct reflection of the energy that we hold inside of our physical bodies, okay? Not just in our mind, not just in our heart, inside of our cells. The next level is here, okay? So if you hold trauma inside of you, if you hold anything inside, like inside of your bloodline, like you do realize this is the next level when it's something that you didn't even do in childhood. There is nothing about this that has to do with the shit that you picked up in this lifetime, okay? This is, I mean, some of it potentially is stuff that is in this lifetime. But this is about like the longer, like earth generational, like earth as a human species generational thing, right? The things that we like we're born with inside of our blood, we get to transmute that. We have to change our genes. We have to rewrite the codes inside of our DNA that are not just about us or this existence, this lifetime on earth. They're about the entire human history on planet Earth. So we're rewriting the story for a fucking planet. Like, that's a big deal, right? So when you're like, oh, but I already dealt with my boyfriend, I already dealt with my childhood, I already dealt with this and that, but did you deal with all of the, other stuff? And by dealing, let me clarify this very strongly. By dealing, I don't mean like going into and feeling the victims and, oh my gosh, my ancestors were slaves, or my ancestors were beaten, or my ancestors were witches, or, you know what I mean? My ancestors were kings and queens, and now I have all this stuff to work. Like, it doesn't fucking matter, okay? At this point of ascension, it doesn't matter. Like, in the sense of like, going into the oh my God, now I was born with those genes. It's just an acknowledgement. At this point of ascension, it doesn't matter what happened in your past life. Like, it's not for us to dwell in. It matters because it defined who you are, and it matters because it's created the exact soup mix for you to have to deal with the things that count now. It matters because it gave you the springboard for the shit that had to be dealt with in the moment of now. But it doesn't matter in the fact of, let me go back through all those feelings and feel desperate and feel, oh my gosh, and da. That doesn't matter. Get the fuck out of there, okay? Because this is what's going to happen. When you're emotional about things of the past or of other lifetimes, your energy is busy connecting and grounding into past lifetimes instead of supporting your physical body and your physical ascension in the now. So you will feel like shit, okay? If your energy is not present inside of your body, inside of your now, because inside of you, you're whining because you're feeling wounds. And I'm being like very like direct, and this is going to trigger a bunch of people, but I want you to understand it. Like, if you're feeling like a victim and poor me and holy fuck, but I have to go through all of these things and I have to drag these balls and chains and da. If you're feeling that energy, you're going to feel like shit big time moving forward. So let this be a big wake up call. What you want to do is understand that, like, this is the shit that I came with, right? I'm changing it. That's it. Do you feel the difference? Instead of telling the stories, of how hard your ancestral lineage was and how hard your childhood was and how hard it is to be alive on planet Earth, right? Instead of telling those stories, say like, holy fuck, I came in hot. I got all this shit on me and I'm figuring out, I'm rewriting the story. This is everything that made me who I am today. I am so fucking powerful. I am in charge. I am shifting myself and I am shifting the world with me. Do you see how that's different? Like, it's very different energy. In one way, the energy is leaking. It's like, oh my gosh, and it's so hard. And then I did all of this, right? This is corporate America. Literally. Oh my God. And then I had to do overtime. And then I had to work the weekend. And then my boss is such an asshole, right? Like, it's like so corporate America kind of mentality or whatever, like the 9-to-5 mentality. When you're in that, do you feel the leak? Do you feel the energy that just goes bleh and goes out? Right? And then people talk about energy vampires. It's not the energy vampires. It's that you are making yourself available to be sucked on. You're making yourself available for leaks. And when you leak, the vampires show up because it's like, ooh, that smells like blood. I'm gonna, that smells like energy that I can suck up and I can use for myself, right? So when you do that, it's just consequence. It's, the law of consequence. Action, consequence. You do this. If you feel like a victim, you're going to find a reason to feel like a victim about. If you leak energy, you will find somebody that sucks it. If you reek like success, then you're going to find people that will follow you in that success and want to, trailblaze with you. Like, it's just whatever it is that you hold, you're going to find a reason for that, right? Whatever it is that you are in that state of being, you're going to find a reason for that. So, get your power back. Get your energy back from all of these old timelines, all of the other stuff, okay? Get your energy back. You need your energy in the now. Like, this is a big deal. You don't need your energy stuck in like 1928. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you need your energy now, or your energy stuck in like the wars on Orion or anywhere else, right? You don't need your energy there. You need as much of your energy as you can hold physically housed inside of your body. You need it here. You need it present, because this is like our moment to be inside of our body so that we can switch everything about what's happening to our planet, so that we can take our place in the galaxy. This is like, Earth Ascension. This is a big deal. We came for a big deal. So, cool. Okay, so if we are in the beginning of our journey, should we connect to the grid? Stacy, thank you for asking that. So, yes, there are grids that are multidimensional grids, okay? So it's kind of like, and thank you so much for asking, because so I want to clarify it. Like when you learn how to like, I don't know, maybe this doesn't make any sense, but it's gonna help. So follow me here. So when you're little and you want to ride your bike, right? And it's like, at first, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be like my big brother or big sister or my parents or whatever, my friends. And I want to ride the big bikes. I want to ride the BMX bikes, or whatever. But then it doesn't balance and it doesn't work, right? So you're going to learn how to do that thing, but you're going to get your training wheels on. And so at first you have 2 training wheels, and then you're going, right? And once you figure out how to work with that, then you're going to take 1 training wheel off and you're going to go just with 1 training wheel. And then when you're ready, you're going to go without training wheels, and it kind of feels like flying, right? And then maybe you grow up and you're like, actually, I want to do, I want a motorcycle. I don't know. Or I want, to do something that flies, like even off the ground, and you kind of just take flight. So you have to graduate there. Because what would happen is if you started as a kid, on a bike without any kind of help or training wheels, you're going to learn either way, right? Like at the end of the story, you're going to learn either way, but you may actually break an arm in the middle of it. You may actually fall and scrape your face, right? In the middle of it. So if there's a way to actually do this in a gradual, gridding system, then that's what you want to do. Okay? Awesome. Thanks for asking. Yay. Okay, cool. Makes perfect sense. Yay. If guilt and shame and anxiety still come up, is it good to feel and release? Is it time to let it go? So good question, Jay. So you want to feel it. So let's clear this up. It's not about not feeling your feelings. It's about processing through them. There's a difference. There's a way of doing this like therapeutically, and there's a way of doing it to where it just keeps bringing you down. Right? So if you're staying in like guilt and shame on you, and you should have known, and oh my God, and it just keeps spiraling down, right? Like that. And then you're having these like self-induced dark nights of the soul, and you're just like staying down and spiraling down, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. If you're there, that's not conducive anymore. Like that's just not, you're making yourself feel a feeling that is not serving your body. In fact, at this point, it's toxic for your body. Okay. So what you want to do is feel it and be like, oh my gosh. And as a rule, feel any feeling very intensely for 90 seconds and then let it go. Okay. Feel the worst of it without interruptions. Like sit down, put a timer on your phone. I teach this in classes. Like put a timer on your phone, feel it, and then let it go. Okay. And then if you don't feel empty of it, like if you don't feel like you processed it, then put another timer for 90 seconds. Feel it intensely. Because what happens is we go through this like torturous thing of ourselves where we kind of do a little bit of this and then we come back to it and then we have cookies and cream, you know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck. Like so if you take it on and you feel it with the intention of letting it go, with the intention of processing through it, with the intention of transmuting it back to light, then you're doing amazing. Okay. So, and you want to let it go. You don't want to hold on to it. We never want to hold on to it ever, ever. Okay. Love source. Oh, wow. That's how I saw the grid. Like a honeycomb and everyone connecting at the points like diamonds. Yes. But not grounded. It was different sense and didn't need to connect anymore. Amazing. Good job. Let this be an awesome confirmation for you that you saw it. Isn't that so cool? Tracy, I had some clearing, Tongan, Samoan, and I'm not from here. I then had going into new territory, ancestral lineage clear. Is that the type of thing? Absolutely. Get in charge of it too. So like, instead of having it cleared by somebody else, be a participant. Like, be an active participant in clearing and the rewrite. Okay, so get in charge of your physical body. But all these things are really good things. Okay, inner sky alchemy. So when in your inner work, do you start connecting to the new grid? I don't connect to any grids. I'm like, what the fuck am I missing here? So if you don't feel like connecting, like when you're doing inner work, if you're going inside yourself, you don't need any kind of grid. But when you're working on expanding energy and building new earth, like grid workers and frequency keepers and portal keepers and like time jumpers, everybody connects to like, it's like an internet network. It's like a neural network of consciousness that is, all linking up, and there's different layers of it. It's like a channel. It's like a TV channel, right? So depending on the work that you do, you go to that channel. Depending on the program, like the TV program that you want to watch, you go to that channel, right? If you want to get fucked, you go to CNN. If you want to feel good, you go to Gaia. I don't know. I'm just saying, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's just kind of like, it's like that. So it depends on the work that you're doing, but always trust your inner knowing and your inner guidance. Okay. Oh my God, I needed to fucking hear that. Amazing. Thank you. So glad. Legit crying again. Oh, I love you guys. Love your hair. Thank you. It's short again. I'm having fun with my hair. It's been fun. Should any particular sign be feeling the energy more intensely? No. And let's talk about that. Bubblegum. So I love that. So it's not, don't ever make it a thing of should. Okay. Like in terms of like, oh, that's coming up on my sign, I should probably feel like this. No, if you're thinking that way, you're stuck in the wheel of karma. Okay. So get out of it, get completed with it. You want to be on the other side of karma. It's never about should. It's always about what feels right and good for you and how is it affecting you. So take an inner inventory of where you at. Become very, very aware. Okay. Cool. Camila, I've been struggling with releasing those feelings too. So stay with it. Don't give up on that stuff because it's worth it, okay? Yeah, can't hold the vibe feelings for very long anymore. Yes, good. Tracy, I did the clearing on my own, nobody else. Okay, cool. Physical with me. I just don't always understand what's going on, and I process when it comes, Tongan, etc. Oh, I see what you're saying. So it was like your ancestors came in. So thanks for clarifying. Yes. Ancestral, like if you are in meditation and if you all of a sudden are like, holy shit, all my ancestors are here, right? Like, and they're doing work with you. And a lot of times we become aware of it in that moment. For example, like either you're meditating or it's like during like sacred time or it's right before you go to bed. And like everybody comes like around your bed and you're like, oh, I'm in for it, right? So there's things that happen because we are constantly working. Right? It's not like it's just, and our ancestors are working through it because they want the bloodlines to be like freed. They understand what's at stake. Okay. Your ancestors will work wonders for you on the other side because we incarnated in this bloodline to liberate it. So we have an effect. Everything that we do has an effect on all of our ancestors. Okay. So they're rooting for us. So when you're doing this kind of work, ask them for help because they absolutely will help. Like they have more power, right, on the other side of the veil, if that's what we want to call it, than anyone else, even than your, a lot of like guides and angels, simply because they are bloodline. Okay. And so because of that, they can untangle things on their end. Like they can move things on their end. So this is all like Akashic records. So, okay. So, okay, last thing, and then I want to tell you something else. Jay, I had an epiphany the other day, also where it felt like I merged more with my higher self or other aspects of me. I didn't realize I was there. Yes, I was therapy talking to myself, and it's amazing. It was awesome and crazy all together. Perfect. That's when you know you're doing it right. That's the feeling. I think that describes it very well. So thanks for sharing. Awesome and crazy at the same time. Merge with your higher self. Get your identity in. Okay, start to understand higher levels of yourself. And like, this is the reason why Ascension is getting physical, because all of the hurts and fears and emotional stuff and victimhood and like torture of the ages and shoulds, like all of that, okay, all of the lower vibrational fields, they have to be released. They have to go so that our light, which means our higher self and layers of our higher consciousness, can inhabit physically in the body. But if our body is filled with bullshit, the light can't live in it. So this is why this stuff has to come out, okay? And what's happening is, it's kind of like if you were putting on a glove, right? And so our physical body is the glove, and our glove has been fucking thick, right? And right now, we're switching. So the glove, instead of being thick, it has to be really thin. Okay, so the glove is like wearing out. That's our physical body. Like a lot of the things that we were holding on to, like just in case it got cold, right? Or whatever. Like all the extra layers, they have to go. Like all of our feelings, all of our traumas, all of that stuff, it has to leave so that more of our spirit, you know, like can fit inside of the glove, inside of our physical body. Does that make sense? Like it's more of us that wants to live inside of it. So what's going to happen, and hear me on this, loves, is if you don't process through your feelings and your emotions, you're going to gain weight like crazy. So hear me now, okay? Because like, it's just, your body is going to have to fit the energy. If you don't know how to process through the energy, your physical body will blow the fuck up, because the energy wants to come and be inside of you. And if you don't know, like if you don't know how to distribute it, if you don't know how to get rid of the old to make room for the new, it's all going to just stay inside. And there's no letting go, there's no moving. And so your body is going to blow up, and you're going to feel heavy, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. So if you feel that way, you know that you need the next level, right? Like you need to actually look at things. Like if your body doesn't feel good and vibrant in the energy, you got shit to process through. You have things to understand. You have things to like work with energetically to like ground up and down, right? Heaven and earth. And you're going to have to like, so do the work required. It's just going to it's becoming very physical, which is the reason why I'm doing physical things now, because it's not just you're manifesting the, you know what we've been saying in the past couple of years, especially, it's like reality is now matching, like whatever you hold inside is matching outside. So if you're, you know, if you're, for example, a jealous person, you're gonna attract a jealous partner. If you're worried that someone is going to cheat on you and you hold that feeling inside, you're going to attract somebody that's going to cheat on you, because reality will always match what you have inside. If you have unconditional love, you're going to attract somebody that has unconditional love. If you hold abundance and if you believe you're worthy of a fuck ton of money, you're going to attract a fuck ton of money, right? Like that's where that goes, okay? It's always been like that. What's happening now is, and so before, a lot of people could pretend, right? There was a lot of pretend. There were a lot of people talking about things like, oh no, oh my gosh, I'm doing amazing and everything is magical, right? And they would take a picture and put it on social media and, oh, my stars. And they would put it on social media and call it good, as though like they were living the life. Well, now that's not happening anymore. Look how cute. It's like all of my stars, my supernova. So, because why wouldn't we have stars in our hair? So what's happening now is it's becoming more and more apparent, right? So you can't fake, you can't fake any of it anymore. You just can't. You can't fake being healthy. You can't fake being in love. Like there's just no faking. And now there's no faking knowing how to work with the energy, because if you don't know how to like, work with yourself, it will show that way. It will blow up. Like your body, the body is now front and center. We are rewiring everything inside of our body, and our higher systems are activating. So our throat just like is starting to this is not a throat chakra activation. This is a pineal gland restructuring, okay, so that it can fit our 12th dimensional DNA. So this is different. You have to have gone through all of the activations of all of your chakras to then get into the point where you feel like your physical body is coming online. Okay. So there are glands and organs inside of us that are not performing up to function yet. They're not performing up to their functionality because we don't have an active 12-strand DNA. We're working with like 3 helixes, the majority of the people, even though the world says 2, but really we're at 3 to 5, right? The majority of the people. And so once we actually have all 12 plugged in, activated, and integrated, we're going to need all of these other glands in our bodies, the other, 90% of our brain to function. Like all of these functionalities has to come online. In order for that to come online, we have to lose our density, which means more of our energy and more of our higher self has to come inside of our body. If we don't make room for that, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, game over. You're not going to feel good, okay? This is like where it counts. So it's kind of like, and by game over, I mean you're going to feel like shit, you're going to be depressed, you're not going to feel good, you're going to gain weight, you're going to just like spiral down. We don't want that. So catch yourself, okay? When it starts to feel that way, catch yourself, okay? And be like, not available for this. This is what I want. Not available for this. This is what I want. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to use my tools. I'm going to be over, you know what I mean? I'm going to do what it takes. So make a commitment to be here, to be in alignment, to be available for your higher self to show you the way, to come in, for the answers to come, for the clearings to come, for everybody on the fucking planet that can support you to be in support to you, right? Like make a commitment to like, I'm going to do this instead of being like, oh my God, all this shit's going to hell, right? The world's going to hell on its own. You don't need to help with that. That's already happening. The world needs like, what we need help with is creating the heaven on earth, right? Like just as a comparison. So it's like, this is the part that we have to be committed to. And when you have this commitment, nothing matters. Like you're going to clear it all, right? So when you feel me saying these things like, oh, we have to clear through that. The reason why, or when heartbreak comes up, when challenges come up, because it's not like my life is perfect. I just work through all the fucking things. Trust me, I cry a lot and I like go through shit a lot. Like Henry and I constantly like go through up leveling and things like that. But we both know where we're going. I know where I'm headed. He knows where he's headed, right? And like independently, like individually and as a couple. So when you know what you want the outcome to be, you work with the shit that comes up, right? Like the same thing with like Ascension, the same thing with Moon Babes and the Light Tribe, with my company. Like there's growing pains, there's things that happen in Ascension, there's like all sorts of physical ailments, right? All sorts of, but you know where you're going. So we don't give up because it gets a little tricky or it gets hard, right? Or like some shit shows up. No, that's not the work. The work is you're committed, so you're going to do the fucking thing, period, the end. You're going to figure it out, right? You're going to get help. You're going to read. You're going to meditate the fuck out of it. You're going to reach out. You're going to get a course. You're going to get a coach. Like, you're going to do all this shit. Why? Because you're important and you know that you are and you know that you have a mission. So you got to get yourself in a position to do the things that are required of you, because you can no longer like not pay attention to that inner voice that says, hey, you came here to do shit, right? So this is really what's going on. So make sure that you have the resources. And on that, my loves, because of this moon and because of the changes and this like breakthrough of reality that has happened, okay, I had to also up level my game. So you guys saw that I showed you like the new course that we were going to do was called All Things Ascension. And then this moon and this alignment happened and it was like, nope, the shit that you were planning on doing in the spring, it's happening now. Like everything just like, whoo, it went next level really fast, right? So we are shifting, and now the new course is called Dancing with the Light, which I am so excited. I'm slightly scared, but I'm also super excited. That's when you know, right? Because I haven't taught this before, ever, in any of the courses. you know, like it feels like when I taught you guys to astral travel for the first time. I was one of the first people to create a course ever on astral travel. In fact, I think that there's people that teach it now, but I don't even know. And because you guys are always asking me for certification, because you know the way I do it is different, right? Because it's a gift, it's a thing, it's a knowingness, it's something that I was born to do, right? Like to teach you and to feel it. And if you've ever astral traveled with me, you know that's my thing, right? Like that's why I say I am the queen of the astral planes, because that's where my energy is genius. That's where I can see things, I know how to navigate, I can feel everybody. Like it's amazing. So while on Earth, and everybody that knows me knows this, I can't say that I'll remember streets, or my sense of direction is so off, but you get me in the astral planes, right? That's where my genius is. Everybody has these zones. Okay, so I was really scared to teach, you know, how to navigate like all of the chakras and all of the things that I taught you like back in the Sacred Chakras Journey, which is now like, you know, a staple course and an understanding that's like everybody needs this, because now it's happening and it's needed to understand how to develop your intuition in the unseen realms, right? And I remember I was so scared to teach that. I'm not as scared now because I know how these feelings go. And I shouldn't even use the word scared. But this is also to tell you that sometimes, you know, like we have that heart thing, like, holy fuck, I'm really going to do this. Like, I'm really going to teach people this. I'm going to show the world this part of myself that I've kept private. And, you know, I don't really show people that. But I know that it's needed. And so I am going to show you literally how to physically dance with the light and how to feel it and how to feel sound and how to feel light all around you. So we're going to get physical and you will sweat. Okay. And this is part of my stuff that I do. And I know I've said it before, but I haven't really explained it. So I've told you guys before that like I have dance parties, right, in the mirror or like whatever, like, you know, do the things that you need to. But I've never explained to you guys like how I do that and how it feels. And some of you have, you know, / moving, actual physical movement. So that makes sense. Some of you have learned the dance of light with me. That's one thing, okay? The dance of light is which we dance on the equinox and on the solstice. It's a very sacred dance that we do activations with that opens portals, literal portals between like dimensional fields and heaven and earth. That is a sacred dance. That is different, even though you have an understanding of what it feels like to pick up and weave the light. You guys know, like those of you that did the dance of light for like the solstice or the equinox, like when we did with the selenite wands and we pick up the directions, you pick up the elements and you feel it, right? Like you feel it and then you weave and it's like, holy fuck, I'm doing this, right? Like you feel it and you know it's real. So that's slightly different. Like this is not like, I'm not going to call it like sacred movement. I'm not going to call it like a ceremony, because this is about really getting inside of your body and sweating and feeling emotionally, mentally, and physically to clear through. Okay. Because it can actually be fun. It doesn't have to be painful. And I'm not saying like you may dance and cry, like that's a thing that happens, right? So I'm going to teach you all that stuff. And in that, we're going to talk about like all of the different phases of ascension. So we are going to talk about like the things that happen with the body. So you're going to understand how your chakras change, how your energy changes, and then you're going to understand what to physically do about it. Okay. So like, we're going to go through all that, and that's called Dancing with the Light. So I'm excited. It's going to be live for 5 days and it starts in 2 weeks from today. Oh my gosh. What platforms do you do the courses on? So the live links are on Zoom. And then after that, everything is on my website. Well, even before that, everything is on my website. So you get a login, and then every module is recorded, and you're going to get like PDF downloads. You're going to get the videos. You're going to get the bonus meditation that you get right away. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm adding the Mermaid Atlantis energizing meditation, which is like one of my all-time, like you guys ask me for it all the time, favorite meditations that I live by. I listen to it multiple times a day. To this course. So it's a bonus for this course. I'm super excited about it. So once you register, you actually get access to that, and then you can start with that. So it's on your welcome page. And what else did I want to tell you? Oh, and you always get forever access. So, to all of it. Is this dance or exercise? It's both, Amy. I love this. Jamie, it's going to be amazing and beautiful. Yes. So we will be doing, like there's mixed martial arts and you're like, is this Kung Fu? Is this like, whatever? Like, are we doing karate? Are we doing, whatever? It's kind of like that. It's going to be a mix of all sorts of different things. So I have studied, side note, I have studied classical dance. I have studied we're on low battery. I have studied ballet. I've studied modern dance and like I was in dance company and like all these things. So I have a dance background, but I also have, you guys don't know this probably. A lot of you don't know this about me. I was also a certified fitness trainer and nutritionist in another lifetime, in this lifetime. All of it is in this lifetime. I have done several crazy, crazy things in this life. But it's all kind of coming together, right? So it's like together, like I have a degree in international business and business management, and I am a Reiki master, and it's a bunch of shit that just doesn't go together, but it kind of actually does, right? So, and like I studied color therapy and sound healing, like all these things, like sound, music, like all these things are coming together in this course. Okay, so this course is also about sound. I didn't actually write this on the page because I had to add some things from like what we were doing before. But like all things, when it has to come, it has to come. So it's happening. I'm super excited about it. We're going to do it over the weekend because I feel like it's the energy that we had in money rehab. There's different energy that's coming in. It's more celebrative. It's more celebratory. Maybe that's the word. It's more like, pop the bottle of champagne. Those of you that were in money rehab with me know what I mean. Like it's more pop a bottle of champagne at the end of the course kind of thing. So in this course, I'm going to show you how to stretch through, how to do the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual workout at the same time. So it's going to be like breath work. It's going to be like physical movement. It's going to be emotional things. You're going to use your hearing. You're going to use your vision. You're going to use your third eye. You're going to use all your fucking senses. Okay. So it's really, really cool. So amazing. Tracy, a fellow eclectic career person. I love it. Yes. That's super cool. Are they pre-recorded or live? We're going to do it live, Jackie. So it's going to be live. And then by the end of it, you will learn how to dance to one song specifically and have moves to where you feel like you're actually like dancing with the light, okay? And with the codes. So those of you that are wanting to understand how to understand and how to like assimilate and what to do with the light codes and how they translate to an understanding and how they fit in your body and all of that kind of stuff. This is a course. Okay. So let me know if you have questions. Oh yeah, I put a thing. So I forget to tell you these things. I did a thing for Valentine's Day. So the course starts on the 25th and up until the day before, you get like an awesome deal on it. Cause you guys know, like sometimes I'm not super organized on things or, whatever. Like, so while I'm still adding this information, like for example, what I'm telling you right now about sound that's not on the thing, that will actually like come together. So you get the deal. When you record it with me live for the first time, you get the deal because sometimes, things happen. We're live and, live things happen. So you get like an awesome, awesome deal. Generally, you get like half off the price of whatever the course will eventually be. Okay. Unless I add to it and then, it becomes more. So right now it's like at half off what it's going to be at least. Okay. And then beyond that, where you already get the deal when you register by the 24th, so the day before we start, because you have to get things. You're going to need things for this course. If you register this weekend for Valentine's, it's another $222 off. So like, it's a ridiculous deal, like just in case you were contemplating doing it. And I feel like there's so many other things going on. So I wanted to do it just from my heart because like, there's a lot that's going into this course. But I know that, some of you are in Goddess on Mission. Some of you want to do the mastermind. Like there's a million other things that are going on. So like, if this helps you, then catch this weekend deal because it's like priced so ridiculously. It's like amazing. And then this is going to be a thing that you can do moving forward all the time, like every day. Like this is like super applicable knowledge for the things that are coming up, right? On knowing how to deal with yourself and process through feelings, energy, stuck energy, like all that kind of stuff. So super, super cool. We'll be doing like higher self work. So we're doing everything related to ascension, and we're dancing and we're having fun. So it's going to be awesome. And you're going to learn some new moves. It's going to be amazing. So go and check it out. Dancing with the Light. Kelsey is helping me with the course. She's a belly dancer. So you guys are going to learn some belly dancing moves too. And I'm going to learn those with you. So we're coordinating some things together. We have used belly dancing as a baseline to teach like movement to flow through with the body for things that we've done, like the dance of light, and it's worked really well. So that's the reason why we're incorporating it. And so you'll see like how, different movements and the understanding how to flow with the body is going to be amazing. So for this course, and then we have surprises I can't tell you, but I can tell you that you're going to need some cool shit. Like you're going to need one single selenite wand. You're going to need a belly dancing scarf, or like a scarf to put on your hips, because hips are important. So we're going to work with that a lot. And then you're going to need a ribbon. You are going to need, like, you just have to go look on the page. I wrote a list of things, okay? But it's going to be fun. So super cool. Okay. We are so much alike. I bet we're close friends in the spirit realm. Kadena love. I bet we are soul family, because you guys, a lot of you guys that like connect with me so strongly, like, we're like, if you were to like look at our soul all the way back through, like we come from the same, right? It's the same soul tribe. So I feel you. Love it, love it, love it. So yes. So anyone that wants to register, you can register. Yes, Aisha, for the course, absolutely. Let me know if you have questions. We're going to do it live. It's going to be amazing. So the deal is, if, like you'll see it until the 14th for Valentine's, for extra love. And then after that, we're going to start on the 25th. Yes. And then at the end, like once the course starts on the 25th, it's going to go, the price will go up, right? Because then while we're teaching it and you guys decide to jump in after that, then it just takes us more. So I'll leave it open, because we'll leave it open if you want it. But it's just the price will go up because it takes more of us, to do that. And then by the end the course is done, it will be very organized. You'll have all the modules, all the informations, all the replays, everything you want to do anytime. So yes, amazing. I'm super excited. Let me know if you have questions. And get your dancing outfits ready. Also, we're going to do a free thing too. We're going to have a mini training, and we're going to do it live. And this one is going to be via Zoom. And then I'll also go live here on Instagram. So we're going to have 2 screens, and I called it Crown on Confidence. Okay. So literally I'm going to help you to figure out ways to feel good about yourself. Like my personal practices, the things that I do to get you to that level of believing in yourself, like how to rewire your belief systems to actually have confidence in your gifts, in your talents, in who you are, right? And get that inner glow, because we love that. So yay! Okay, so many things. I love you guys. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks for hanging out with me on this Friday night. It's Sonia G at Moonbibs and the Light Tribe here on Instagram. And you can find all the things on my website, www.moonbibtribe.com. Yay! Okay, yes, mini training. Yes. Ask me any questions. The mini training is going to be on 2/22. Okay, so 2/22. Yes. We have like good numbers with us. So amazing. I love you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy love weekend. Happy Valentine's. Mwah.